Live aquatic plants are awesome. There's all kinds of species to choose from. Some of them are very easy to take care of, other ones take a lot more work. Regardless of how hardy or demanding a plant species is though, one thing's for sure, your aquarium is way better off with them than without them. Now, if you're like me and you don't necessarily have the greenest thumb in the whole world, you'll probably want to keep aquatic plants that are easier to take care of. My personal approach to fish keeping is that I like to focus more on the fish themselves, so I like my aquatic plants to be pretty undemanding. With that said, here are my picks for the top 5 aquarium plants that anyone can grow. Originating from Africa, Anubias is available in a number of different species and varieties, but the care for all of them is pretty much the same. Anubias doesn't need substrate to grow in. You can just anchor it onto a piece of rock or a piece of driftwood and the plant will just start growing. It kind of creeps across surfaces and grips onto things with its very tough, hardy root system. Anubias is a very durable and undemanding plant. And its leaves are quite hard, so it can kind of withstand the abuse of cichlids and snails and even some suckermouth catfish. I rank Anubias as number 1 in terms of toughness because of how little light it needs and because of its preference for growing on hard surfaces. You don't need to worry about fertilizers or micronutrients with this plant, it just grows on its own without feeding. Even amber-stained, natural-looking water doesn't bother it. I've actually seen Anubias growing in just ambient lighting, slowly but surely, with no overhead lighting source at all. Vallisneria has long, ribbon-like, reddish-brown to dark green leaves. Unlike most other plants, all Vallisneria species can get their carbon requirements from carbonates in the water, and so they do really well in aquariums with harder water and more alkaline pH levels. Fine gravel or coarse sand is best for Vallisneria, which spreads really quickly by sending out runners when conditions are ideal. You don't need really strong lighting for this plant. Moderate light levels are more than enough. Depending on the species, Vallisneria can grow to be over 24 inches or 60 centimeters in length, and so it does best when planted at the background of very large, tall aquariums. On the subject of planting, try not to submerge the white part of the crown into the substrate. It's really only the roots that should be submerged. Vallisneria is hardy and durable, and it's a great choice for beginners or for aquariums with hard alkaline water conditions. Come on, you knew Java moss would be on this list. This plant is incredibly adaptive, it anchors itself to basically any solid surface in your aquarium, and it grows pretty much no matter what you do to it. In general, it's best to attach the moss to a rock or a piece of driftwood or an ornament and then kind of let it grow and spread from there. You can use tie wraps or clips or fishing line or thread or anything else to kind of hold the moss down and help control it as it spreads and slowly takes over your entire aquarium. Low to mid-level light is preferred by Java moss, but with that being said, when I used to work at a fish store, I would joke that Java moss would grow even inside your toilet bowl if you gave it a chance. Once Java moss does start kind of growing and spreading, you will want to trim it on a pretty regular basis to help kind of maintain the look you're going for, and to stop the plant from taking over your entire house. Another benefit of Java moss is that it kind of functions like a filter by trapping debris and organic detritus, which then you can easily remove during water changes. It's also a really great place for baby fish to hide in. Originating from tropical regions of India, Southeast Asia, and New Guinea, Cryptocoryne is a really hardy plant that grows in thick groups and has a really nice dark green to olive green to brownish green color to its leaves. It has absolutely massive root systems and grows really well in sand, especially if the sand has some clay content in it, or in aquarium soil substrates like stratum and biostratum. Cryptocoryne does grow pretty slowly, and it spreads by sending out runners. It's recommended to do regular, small, partial water changes with this plant because big, large water changes or disruption to the plant's roots can actually bother it and lead to partial die-off. This is sometimes referred to as the plant melting. Cryptocoryne thrives in lower light levels and, depending on the species, can reach heights of about 4 to 8 inches or 10 to 20 centimeters. It does best when planted in the foreground or the midground of the aquarium. Java fern is a very tough plant from Southeast Asia that grows on rocks and driftwood and other surfaces in the aquarium. Like Anubias, you plant it by just anchoring it down using plastic tie wraps or something else. Afterwards, all that's required is patience because the plant does grow very slowly. Java fern does well in low to medium light conditions, and it tolerates natural, tea-colored water really well. Now, other people might have Java fern a little bit higher on their list of beginner aquarium plants, but truth be told, Java fern and I haven't always had the best relationship. Java fern is a plant that seems to enjoy being neglected. It likes when you just kind of leave it alone and let it do its thing by itself. I am a little bit compulsive when it comes to my aquariums. I like working on them and tinkering in them and doing things. So Java fern and I haven't always gotten along very well. But with that being said, once the plant does get established and once it starts growing on its own, it's a beautiful plant and it's really tough to go wrong with it. And that is it for today. Those are my picks for the top 5 aquarium plants that anyone can grow. I've used these species in most of my aquariums over the years, and I've always had really good success with them, so if you haven't tried them already, I definitely recommend that you do. Be sure to leave a comment down below telling me what you think the easiest aquarium plants are. I'd love to know what you guys are keeping in your tanks. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.